What's going on, gamers? So, there's been some really good Marvel Wolverine drama going on. I've been making some pretty nice videos. Appreciate the support for that. But in this one, I want to go down to the comment section because you know how Xbox fanboys get salty. And there's always a lot of ones that come up in my channel where I notice they always make a comment. You can also go on somebody's profile and click on that, and YouTube will tell you if they leave a lot of comments or a lot. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to start off with the 60 frames per second ray tracing on PlayStation 5 is basically a flex. And you got to think about it, because if you think about Unreal Engine 5 games, even at the beginning of the generation, starting with that Matrix game, and certain other games where you thought that PlayStation 5 was a 30 FPS machine, PC fanboys were trying to act like they had a huge advantage and all that. Well, guess what? We're fast forwarding to 2026. So there's some things we obviously don't like in the gaming industry, now it's just like, God, we would have never saw that coming, right? Definitely the prices and stuff and the RAM cartel, all that nonsense, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about. Or just all that jazz. But the thing here is that Xbox fanboys seem to be salty that Insomniac are such good developers that they can get a base PlayStation 5 exclusive in 2026, where technology is more demanding and better, to run at 60 frames per second in performance mode with ray tracing on. This is the stuff we were loving with PSSR 2 with the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now imagine the PlayStation 5 Pro version of this game. It's going to be native 4K 60 with ray tracing. And they're probably going to have 120 frames per second mode, or like an 80 to 90 frames per second mode. But the thing is not only can it do that, but Xbox fanboys just can't handle it. So they're going to put a salty comment. They're going to hate because Insomniac developing is just on another level. Where's your Blade at? Also, where's that at, right? We never talked about that. It's like, you don't even have any Marvel games. They don't exist. But let's get into this. Are we ready? Become a member for $3. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Here we go. Now, going down to this comment, McFit comes in here. He's an Xbox fanboy, by the way. This guy right here, he's an Xbox fanboy. I remember him actually, yeah, that's not important. I remember him actually, we're going to go to top comments here. I remember him actually commenting one time about something that literally made no sense. I'm like, oh, you know what? I forgot you're an Xbox fanboy. But him saying at 1080p, Spidey, copy paste. The funny thing is, bro, is that this game is not designed like Spider-Man. If it was, then it would have an open world foundation. Spider-Man is designed for him to swing around. Spider-Man does not have claws. Spider-Man does a lot of kicking with stuff. Spider-Man moves around very lightly. Logan is definitely different. The design of Wolverine is completely different. It's not copy and paste. It's Insomniac's engine, which is actually very good. Like any other engine, when you look at the engine years later, it's more optimized, it's running better, they have more money, they're making more money, and it's doing very well. So you said at 1080p, like, I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say here. It's ray tracing with 60 frames per second in performance mode. The PlayStation 5 Pro version will probably be native 4K 60 frames with ray tracing in higher settings. What are you going to say about that? Because that's what I got. You know what I mean? So what's with the hate here, right? You couldn't just realize that 60 frames per second with ray tracing on a base PlayStation 5 in 2026 by itself is impressive, and the game is going to look very good. You saw the gameplay, it looks good. Spider-Man 2 looks amazing. What's the problem here? Oh, it's gonna outsell Gears of War E-Day? You don't have it? And if you thought you were gonna get on PC and play it, you can't do that. And if you thought down the line Xbox Helix was gonna play it because it was on Steam, you don't have any of those options. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to look at PlayStation. See, and this is just the beginning. There's gonna be so many other games coming down the line. There's already some coming out this year that you just don't have. Just saying, man. East says McFig can't make fun of PlayStation 5 when it's actually or factually more powerful and capable than the crappy X. That's pretty funny. Let's go down here. It's not, though. You just made that up. I wouldn't say it's more powerful mathematically, but it does perform pretty well. And most developers base their optimization around PlayStation because that's the third-party world where you're actually going to make money. Nobody focuses on Xbox. because they're not that important. They don't buy games. Gonna have to pay them to put it on Rent Pass, but that's not being subsidized anymore. He says, no surprise, because base PlayStation 5 has had an 8K 60 frames per second game for a year. So y'all can argue about that, but what I wanted to talk about was the McFig at 1080p Spidey copy paste, which I kind of thought was funny. Going down, here's some more funny stuff right here. And I want you guys to think about this. This is another guy that comments a lot. His name is Anthony. Whatever the hell that says, Ira or whatever, it's saying basically nobody cares. So here's the funny thing. Who doesn't care is actually you. Because you're not relevant in the gaming industry anymore. No one cares. Bro, this game's gonna sell millions and millions and millions of copies. It's gonna outsell Gears of War and Halo Campaign Evolved put together. You do realize that, right, Anthony? Right? So him and his little two Xbox fanboys must be butthurt right now. No, you don't care because Xbox is not showing presentations like that. The best you got is Gears of War, but guess what? That costs more than Marvel. Think about this. It costs more than a Marvel licensed IP. Marvel IPs cost a lot of money. This game was probably like 300 million or something, or 325 million. Gears of War is 400 million, plus the PlayStation 5 port and marketing, 500 plus million. Wolverine is going to sell 10 million copies probably. They'll probably end up making like 750 to 800 million dollars. You know, the funny thing is, if you go on the PlayStation Store, it's actually funny that the $80 deluxe edition is outselling the standard. So they're making more money than you would think that if you were say, okay, let's say if it sold 10 million, would you do 10 million times 70 to get 700 million? If the digital was selling a lot, no, you would say, man, they probably made like 900 million then. This game could end up making Sony $1 billion. Are you not thinking about that? So you're saying nobody cares is just copium because a huge crowd is going to be playing Marvel's Wolverine. X-Men has a huge crowd. Wolverine has a huge crowd. Marvel has the biggest crowd in the industry, like literally lately. They're the ones that have been keeping movie theaters alive. You see the Spider-Man box office? They already had over 2 billion. Marvel's massive. So that no one cares. It's just the same thing as no one cares about exclusives. No one cares about sales. This always comes from Xbox fanboys because all you do is fail. It's like, oh no, man, my sales fell. Nobody cares. I don't have exclusives. Nobody cares. But let me flip-flop back and forth now because we're getting a little exclusive tease here and there. PlayStation is full straight on. You ain't getting none unless it's something that's like multiplayer and Sony wants to share it. But all the flagship games, they're not going out. Bro, you're even going outside of your console with Halo Campaign Evolved or Devolved, garbage. And it can't even be successful. It flopped. Your biggest mascot of all time. Gears of War, look at that. Look at the open beta on PC and Steam. It was garbage. It didn't even hit 25,000. You couldn't even crack 30,000 on a free open beta in front of a platform's install base is supposedly supposed to be like Xbox and be like Nintendo. Supposedly 100 plus million, 120 million monthly or whatever, if that's even true, right? But then again, people would just be having Steam up as an auto launch and be on their PC and never touch it. It's different when you actually turn on the console because you're actually most likely playing a game. Not just sitting there in the back and, you know, that type of stuff's going on. But Steam is still a big platform, though, obviously. Represents literally the heart and soul of PC gaming, 90-something% with NVIDIA. So you saying nobody cares really says a lot. It means that you're butthurt and you wish nobody cared. But you know Marvel's Wolverine is going to be bigger than any Xbox exclusive or IP. I'm just speaking facts, right? And it's only going to be on PlayStation. Imagine if this... Oh, wait, no. Sony's not going to waste their time on PC. Yeah, don't even do that. Xbox either. Be better off putting it on the Switch too. So yeah, that's kind of funny. And then here comes this guy, Phil Spencer. Yeah, this guy literally made... I can't. This guy literally made a YouTube account called Phil Spencer. Because I guarantee you he believes that Asha's doing great things. But we all know Xbox fanboys' IQ is kind of like not that impressive. Damage control. Okay, so first of all, let's start talking here. Did you know that this game is not out? You haven't seen the meta, but did you know that this game is going to be successful, sell millions of copies, make Sony hundreds of millions of dollars on profit, move PlayStation consoles, that Wolverine themed console, come on, man. You saw the controller is going to sell out. This game is going to commercially do well critically. It is going to score high in the 80 bracket. It may be hit 90 meta, you never know, but it's going to be up there. So why do I need to damage control? I don't need to. I'm just basically exposing the obvious. We saw how many fake clips there were on this game. It seems that you just can't handle it. Let's go down to this post right here, which I actually think is a really good post right here. I'm going to go ahead and give you a like and heart. Coming from Fernicus Maximus. All this Wolverine hate is coming from disgruntled Xbox PC fanboys. I am glad he called them out. Exactly. Let's see if there's a comment right here. I've even seen PC players claiming GTA 6 looks like trash and is going to fail. PC players console platform more just as much as console players. Of course, because a lot of them used to be on console too. And it's in general, they do that. It's just human nature to do that. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's totally performative outrage. Yeah, and a lot of stuff is just algorithm manipulation and all that. It's actually very true. I'll go ahead and give you a thumbs up and a heart because you're making sense right here. So he says, there's no excuse for Wolverine to look so bad. Just look at Phantom Blade Zero Combat. What the F is a first-party studio with full Sony backing doing releasing such a poor basic mechanic Wolverine game? Bro, are you kidding me? Now, don't get me wrong. Hey, Phantom Blade Zero looks absolutely amazing. Guess what, though? That's in the PlayStation world. It's not coming to Xbox. Might not have to... You may get it one day in the future, I think. I think it's like a one-year exclusive. But anyways... You've only seen little snippets of the game. I'm telling you right now, this game is going to be sick. And I guarantee you they're going to have a hard mode. And there's going to be moments where Wolverine fully maxed out, when you really see professionals playing it, it's going to be lighting up the scenes. Trust me. Don't worry about that, bro. So, yeah, I mean, I don't agree with this comment. I believe like you're kind of like reflecting upon that little snippet stuff. And it's like, no. Mello says, S-Box is terrible. I regret buying the Xbox Series X. This is an Xbox gamer, by the way, saying this. What's your gamer tag? That's the biggest sin ever. Xbox been factual dog crap since the 360. That's funny. Let's go to this guy. Just saw a video pop up called "We Are Not Allowed to Have Opinions Anymore" with Wolverine as the topic. That's what AGN's doing, canceling out anyone's opinions about the game because he's mad that they didn't like it. Bro, that's not true. I respect professional criticism. What I was doing, and let's not be fake here. I was exposing fake clips, highlights, like the guy trying to show you a sprint down through a tutorial, and he closed off the next part because it would have showed that it was a tutorial. This is how you do this. Hold down the square button. Get out of here, bro. I'm exposing fake nonsense. And then I'm going to Xbox Fanboys page and saying, why are you talking about anything? You know what I'm doing here. I'm not saying people can't have an opinion. Hey, man, either you like it or not. Don't try to come in here with that, though. I don't think so, bro. That's not going to work over here. You're trying, but it's not going to work. So here comes an Xbox fan, though. He says, this is why I like this guy's page. He says, too, I'm honestly very hyped for Wolverine. Looks really cool. Also, Xbox is trash. But this guy says, I'm an Xbox fan. I'm not hating. That can exist, though. That's why we're talking about toxic Xbox fanboys. I'm happy for y'all. I'm waiting for the PlayStation 6. I'm done with Xbox. So we got multiple people coming in here saying they're done with Xbox. Right? Let's see who defends this. Every single time. You got the slurp from Microsoft, don't you? This Fly Eagles guy, he's on every comment. Kind of funny. Then we got... Okay, I can't read his name, but we got a cool Japanese brother coming up in here saying Xbox fanboys are finished because they only criticize. Wolverine will not be released on Xbox or Steam. Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Halamoko says, or Olamoko, depending on how you read it. I think it's Halamoko. Says, I don't care about Twitter hate. It's a very small group. Yeah, magnified. While there are tens of millions of gamers who do not evolve themselves into this crap, they're going to buy and play this banger. Exactly. So many crybabies out there. PlayStation is the best console and they can't handle it. Well, them and Nintendo are tearing it up right now. It just depends on what you think about that. I get what you're saying against Xbox, though. PlayStation's always better, though. Same Xbox dudes hating on Insomniac are craving and dying for another Fallout game that's been the same play loop, zero innovation for the last 20 plus years. Hey, man, and they had to monopolize for that. I'm just saying, Sony's been had the Marvel license IP in Spider-Man. So yeah, I mean, we kind of get the idea here, don't we? Psycho Gamer says, no one cares about Xbox more than PlayStation fanboys. AGN, why does Xbox and Gears of War E-Day bother you so much? It doesn't bother me at all. I'm just speaking facts here. This console warring is sad and pathetic. I play on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC. I play on PC. I've owned every Xbox. Been PC gaming since the 90s. I've owned every Nintendo console. It's funny you didn't say Nintendo. I've owned all the Sega consoles. I play on everything. I actually have like 130,000 gamer score on Xbox. You know how many Xbox games I've beaten? Like 60 platinums on PlayStation. And Nintendo, there's no platinum system, but it would be higher than both of them. I've beaten so many Nintendo games, it ain't even funny, since the regular NES and SNES days. Owned all the handhelds too. Just saying, bro, who are you talking to? You're talking to somebody that's gamed and literally every device you could possibly imagine. So you're not making any sense to me. And this is not so much console warring. That's what you're doing on Twitter. And I'm coming in here exposing it. I make the videos that is on Twitter. And then sometimes I do some of that. Yeah, because it's fun to do. Don't act like that's not fun. That's when gaming was actually the most fun between PlayStation and Xbox. It's sad when it's a blowout. Nobody wants to watch a blowout, bro. I'm just saying, everybody wants a good game. So get out of here with that. That's what the whole world is doing. All that watching sports, competition. Man, get out of here. You want a good game. You're just mad that Xbox is losing. This guy, Wolverine and Sweet Baby Inc. trash. Okay, first of all, Sweet Baby Inc. was taken away a long time ago. Sony cut off ties with them actually after God of War Ragnarok development back then and Spider-Man 2. You bringing them up now is irrelevant. It's like somebody trying to complain about Ghost of Yotei. It's like, hold on, bro. Ghost of Yotei was actually an amazing game. Spider-Man 2 was an amazing game. I'd have no problem with it. Here you go. So if hatred to Wolverine is fake, is your hatred to Gears of War E-Day is fake, AGN? You're such a fanboy. What are you talking about, bro? Nobody hated on Gears of War. I never once said Gears of War E-Day was trash. What I said is that Microsoft is ruining Gears of War E-Day by limiting the audience. You should have had it on PlayStation 5. You should have had it on Switch too. I never once watched any Gears of War video said that Gears of War E-Day is trash. I said it's flopping. All I did was speak facts, and that they're limiting the audience, is that Steam is not supporting Gears of War. Historically, it's done garbage on there. You would have been better off dropping Steam and putting it on PlayStation, because at least on PlayStation, it would have gave you a much better result. Same thing with Halo. It flopped on Steam, but look how much more PlayStation supported it. It's the same thing, numbskull. You're not getting it. What you don't realize is that you're trying to imagine that because Microsoft wants to make the decision with that fake gaming CEO who is an AI fraud, is making Gears of War exclusive, is somehow going to help you out. Well, really, it's not exclusive because it's still on Steam, but it's actually just damaging you in that sense. You would have been better off. You would have been better off having it only on Xbox at that point if you're not going to include PlayStation. There are some games Steam will support, but there are some games they just will not. So you're not making any sense. The one that's sad is the Xbox world. Everybody knows that's the sad world. Everything has failed. Everything has flopped. It's the only world that can't stand on its own. Steam is fine. PlayStation is fine. Nintendo is fine. Yeah, what do you think? So where am I hating on Gears of War E-Day? When the gameplay was out there, the results were there, it flopped big time on Steam. You have not seen Wolverine become available as a demo where you can actually play it for like an hour or something. You're just sitting to the side hating. I can go play Gears of War E-Day on PC. You can't play Wolverine on PC. You're mad. You were begging Insomniac for the Spider-Man 2 port. Remember when they said this one time when that was going on, when Sony says they're putting this thing together and getting all these things, Helldivers coming to Xbox? They got so huge into the hopium and copium mentality that anything that PlayStation developers were posting, they thought it was coming to Xbox, because that's how bad you wanted those games. You just wanted them in the Xbox world. So let me tell you who the haters are. It's over there in that world. All you do is hate on Nintendo 24/7 and hate on PlayStation. I've seen it. I've seen Xbox fanboys that were so butthurt back then. They went to PC, coped in the Steam world. All they do is make negative PlayStation and Nintendo videos 24/7. But it's funny, AGN went to back up Xbox. Did Xbox content. Salt farmed PlayStation fanboys. Made this pony sit down motto. Then I went and criticized because Microsoft messed up everything. So it's kind of hard to criticize me when I supported both sides and I supported PC, Steam, Nvidia, AMD, Salt Farmed also as well. You see what I mean? Talked about Nintendo when I need to, but not that much because they don't have those problems, right? But it's different when you only stand on one side and you never leave that world. Yeah, so okay, I can question you. But I've called out equal. Just saying. So what do you have to say about that? Like I said, all I'm seeing here is that you're not going to be able to port beg. It's not coming. You're hating on Wolverine. You're creating fake angles. And then you're saying AGN is trying to damage control. And then you come in and saying it's Sweet Baby Ink trash. Then you're also hating on the first comment here that we went by. 60 frames per second with ray tracing on base PlayStation 5 is basically a flex. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. A 1080p Spidey copy paste, right? It's like no matter what, you're trying to find an angle to make something look negative. I don't care what you tell me. Like my Xbox slamming makes sense. Go watch. Because to me, Xbox is dead. And it's Microsoft Corporation using that label. I'm just saying. So yeah, become a member for $3. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. As usual, keep on gaming. Xbox fanboys. The ones that are hating on Wolverine, I don't know what to tell you. Later.